हो गया शायद हो गया.
Yes, sir.
Okay, we are live now, I guess. Yeah.
आदित्य, वो लाइव चल रहा है, उसको बंद करा वहां पे, शुरू हो गया है.
Yeah, ma'am is here, I guess. Yeah. Anshika?
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
we are live.
Hello, ma'am.
Hi, Vanshika. Vanshika, sorry.
Ma'am, can we start?
Let's wait for 2 minutes more.
Yeah, sure. The audience is waiting.
Please.
Okay, baby. Ma'am, shall we start?
Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, shall we start?
Yeah, sure.
Afternoon, everyone. Afternoon, ma'am. This is your host, Anshika Agrawal. Our Catalyst eCell welcomes you all to our YouTube live session on the topic mental health and women entrepreneurs. Women entrepreneurs faces several challenges that can affect their mental health. This include gender-based obstacles like gender biasing and challenges faced in their working conditions. Today we are honored to have Miss Kunika Rathore ma'am as our speaker guest with us, who is an expert in this field. She is the CEO and founder of Unknown Agency. She brings the experience of working with top organizations. She also been recognized for her contributions to the field and won several awards. Today she'll be sharing her insights on mental health. Welcome, ma'am.
Hello, everyone. So, before we start with the session or anything, I would like to give you an introduction about me and how I started doing all this thing and how I ended up becoming an entrepreneur, because this session or topic is about that. So, I started my career as a professional dancer and choreographer. So when I completed my college, I started working as a professional dancer, and I gave at least 10 years to that industry, and I was quite happy of working there, and everything was great. And I was very much clear that I want to be a professional choreographer. But at that time, with the dance company I was working with, I used to help them with their website, social media interactions, and a lot of things at that time. And so I was creating their website, and somebody from my known saw me working on their website, creating the website at that time. So that person was a software engineer, and that person said that why don't you try and give the interviews? You have the capability. Why don't you give it? Try. So I said that I don't want to do it because I'm just doing it to help the company, but not to actually change anything or change a career option. So I told them that I don't want to be a part of it, and that conversation ended there. But that person did not stop till me. That person went to my father, and who was not very much happy about the dance career because at that time, I'm talking about 10 to 11 years back. At that time, it was very different scenario than it is today about dance. So he was. So my dad came to me and told me that why don't you try for the interview if it's happening because the interviews were happening in that person's company. So they said that why don't you give it a try? I said I don't want to be doing it. This is not something that I look forward to. So I don't want to do it. So but as being a father, every father does that. He emotionally blackmailed me that no, you should try and everything like that. So I said, Acha, let me give it a try. So I did try. I prepared myself for 15 days. I still remember that. I mean, because I'm the person who never lets any opportunity go like that. If I'm trying something, I give my heart to it. So I prepared myself for 15 days, and it not happened. I gave the interview and I got the job. And at that time, in my family only, two people, like my cousin and my sister, they were unable to get a job even after a degree of engineering. And I do not have a degree. I'm a BSc mathematics. So I thought that how will I get the opportunity or how will I get the job without a degree? But I got the job, and I would say that I would be the only person in this world who was unhappy about getting a job. So then I came home and dad was like, "You got the job, let's try for it and everything." And I was sad about it that because I didn't want to change my career, but I saw it as an opportunity, so I decided that I need to focus on two things right now. That I'll give this opportunity 6 months, and if I really like doing this, so I'll go forward to it. And if it doesn't, also 6 months won't affect my dance career because I have given 10 years, and I have enough amount of people in connections. So I started, and at that time, giving 10 years to the industry, I thought that I was planning to start my own dance company. So I thought that if I'm leaving that opportunity here, in case I go for it, so I won't do the 9 to 5 job all my life. First, I need to learn what this industry has for me. If I like something and if I am good with it, then I'll start my own company. Then later. So I joined the job and I started working on it, and I started as a software engineer. So I love coding because I loved maths. Maths is something that I really love apart from dance. So I started as that, and I really loved the job I was doing there because coding is very much similar to mathematics, the logical part. So I was really happy doing that, and I never looked back from there. And I joined the company, and then I worked as a software engineer, then a designer, then a lead, and then I ended up handling their Asia Pacific for the India team. And then I left the company, and then I started the Unknowns Agency, my own organization. And today I'm here. It's been almost 10 years uh, in this industry, and 5 years down the line for the company. And I'm really happy with what I'm doing, and everything is really great. And if we talk about what I learned from my journey, I mean, I'm still on that, but till now, what I've learned is that never let any opportunity go like that. If you get anything on your path, you always give it a time. You guys being at that position, you have time that you can try multiple things. So always give any opportunity a try because you never know what you really like. Because we know that this is something that I like, but you really do not know what you really love, I would say. So it comes on with the journey, and no, and one thing I really want to clarify that nobody knows what they really love initial days. किसी को नहीं पता था. Nobody knows. Everybody knows that I like these four things, and they give it a try with everything. And whenever they go through that journey, trying it out, one thing or the other, they then fall in love with the idea and the industry or anything that they are doing. Nobody is in love with anything in the initial stage. And one more thing, that any journey, if somebody says that you love something, you will love doing it every day. No, that doesn't happen. It never happens. Whenever you do something, there are going to be bad days, there are going to be good days, and there are going to be days that you really would want to quit on the thing. But why we say that we should love that, because even if we want to quit on that thing, we never does that. We really want to be, we still want to go on that. I mean, we could quit for the day, but not for the longer run. We will start again tomorrow. So, and another thing that I say, that you really need to love, because if you love something, then only you want to learn, and if you're learning, then only you can grow. So, to grow in any expertise or any area or any industry, you really need to keep on learning, because things are changing very fast nowadays. So you have to keep on learning, and if you really need to keep on learning, you really need to love that thing. You really want to be curious about it. You really need to understand, want to know new things about it, so that you keep on learning. So I think these are the few things that I want to add, and now I want to go for the queries if you guys have, because I want it to be more interactive session. Because I can tell you about my whole story and everything every time, but you all have their own journey and the queries as well. So tell me that and ask me those.
Hello, ma'am. It's Adat, and I'm ex-coordinator of Catalyst ESL. Currently, I'm final year civil engineering undergraduate.
Okay.
So, like, we have cleared almost half of my queries in the introductory session only. So, what's my query is like most of the entrepreneurs build their ventures or businesses in their early 20s or mid 20s. And it's the same time when our parents suppose us to be stable in life, get married, have kids, like have a simple life and stable life. And that social and family pressure, like how you have dealt with that pressure
You know,
while you are building your startup.
I am very lucky in that part of my career. Like my parents, apart from dance, they have been supportive in every other aspect. And the reason being that I have first proven them that I can do things on my own. Because when I went into the job, I was doing really good. I achieved a lot really early at age. So they had that, like, they know that she can do it. So you have to build that credibility. And you are in college. This is the only time that you can actually try out multiple things. You can't, I mean, of course, if you want to do it in your 30s, then also it's good. But I would say that this is the time that you have opportunity that you can try multiple things. And parents always, they only don't want you to be I do not remember the comedian who said on, I think, the Kapil Sharma show. He said that आपके parents सिर्फ आपको गरीब नहीं देखना चाहते. So
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
true. They just want you to have money, and why they say stability, because they want to make sure that you have something on your own if they are not even there. That's the only problem they have. So if you can make them feel credible about what you think, because a lot of people, even I, at some point of time wanted to be an air hostess. So my dad was not okay with that. He's like, because they always want to, if you say something, you have to show that this is the journey I'm going to take, this is the path, and these are the big curve, and you have to explain that you are very much serious about it and you have a plan. It shouldn't be like, अच्छा आज मैं इंजीनियर बनना चाहता हूँ, कल मैं ये बनना चाहता हूँ. So of course they'll be like, अच्छा इसका तो रोज ही नया है.
कुछ नहीं है.
So you Okay, so there's a very funny story about this. So I was going for something another name, and we couldn't get that name on the legal side. So we had to find something else, and then we discussed that. Sorry.
There was some background noise, I guess.
So I had to create a story about around it. So we started thinking about what is missing. So what is missing? What is the unknowns? Missing is unknown. So we're like everybody is looking for. So we are the people who makes you meet your unknowns. So that's how it came around, and like because everybody we have to find what is missing in your story or in your brand or in your marketing techniques. That's how it came out because we were talking like what is missing, and then we were like, "Acha, this is what is missing is the unknowns."
Okay, okay. And it's really easy to get domain also, I guess.
Ah, yes. And this was easy. The unknowns was available. So that's how it came around, and it was this brand and your marketing techniques. That's how it came. We were talking what is missing, and then we were like, this is what is missing is the unknowns.
Okay, okay. And it's really easy to get domain also, I guess.
Ah, yes. And this was easy. The unknowns was available. That's how it came around, and this brand and your marketing techniques. That's how it came. We were talking what is missing, and then we were like, this is what is missing is the unknowns.
Okay, okay. And it's really easy to get domain also, I guess.
Ah, yes. And this was easy. The unknowns was available. That's how it came around, and this brand and your marketing. That's how it came. We were talking what is missing, and then we were like, what is missing is the unknowns.
Okay, okay. And it's really easy to get domain also, I guess.
Ah, yes. And this was easy. The unknowns was available. That's how it came around, and this brand and your marketing.
बहुत बेकार स्ट्रीम चल रहा है यार।
Having a technology background, we are getting into more things. So I have that opportunity now to make a difference. But with dance, I do not have that. So I think I have dance with me right now, even, and I'm happy the way it is. So I am having
No,
both.
it's more like a hobby.
No, not hobby. It's a passion.
No.
Still, passion
It's a-
doesn't come. So I would say that passion doesn't mean that you have to earn something from it. Passion means that you love what you're doing. Passion is that. So I never connected it with money. Not even in the earlier days when I was doing dance.
I guess now our juniors would like to ask you some of their
Yep.
questions. Yeah.
Good evening, good afternoon, ma'am. Here, Aditya sir.
Uh, yes, please.
Hello.
Hello. You're.
Am I audible, ma'am? Am I audible?
Yes, yes.
Ma'am, I have a question that, ma'am, what about your experience about as mentor at top universities of India?
Experience, I would say that a lot of so at this point of time, a lot of students are trying to do a lot of things, and we have more entrepreneurs now than we had in our earlier days. So I would say that things are changing in that part of the journey, but I would say that there is a lot more learning that we need right now because everybody wants to make something out of their own and they want to make a difference, but they do not have the capabilities on their own. They just have the idea that this is something I want to do, but they do not have the path or journey or somebody to guide them. So I would say that at that point of time, when I started mentoring all these kids, it was very different. And now, and being like 3 to 4 years down the line, I realized that they have changed a lot, and mentorship is a very important thing for students specifically because they really need that because they are very new, very raw in their capability of doing something. they want to do this and they do not know the resources, they do not know how no, not even the entrepreneurship or the startups terms even, I would say that how we can calculate this, or how we can reach out to somebody, or how we can pitch, how our pitch should be. So the basic needs to be told to them. That's very important. That's what I come in the picture, helping them, because I never had somebody to do that for me. So I realized that I should be the one helping these people, so that they do not have to waste or invest their time that I already have. So to save their time, I think I am able to help them, and I'm happy about it.
Actually, we at our ESL, actually, we are Catalyst ESL, and it's our entrepreneurial body of Riva Engineering College. So, for your reference, Riva is somewhere near Allahabad. It's in Madhya Pradesh. So, it's a tier 3 college. So, most people don't know much about entrepreneurship here, but we are doing it for last 7 years. And like most of the students are like they have one motto: they have to clear a government exam, they have to clear a gate. Most of the engineers, so we are trying our best to give them a platform where they can build their own businesses even from small colleges.
That's very important. I mean, see, even in the bigger colleges here, they might have a lot of support, but at the same time, not the clear guidance that they have. The reason that IIT hired me as their mentor is because of that. Because they needed somebody from the industry. Teachers are able to tell them a lot of things on the theoretical part, but having that hands-on experience is very much important. That is very different from what you understand while being at job or at the college. That's very different.
Okay. Varun would like to ask some question. Yeah.
Ma'am, I'm ex-manager of Catalyst Diesel, and I worked as Adit's subordinate. And I wish to ask that since the two of us, have been managing ESL for 2 years now, and there is this very minded bonding that we share. So, do you find it important that we share the same kind of bonding in a startup environment with our co-workers or our co-founders?
Of course, matlab, see, the vision is very important. If your people has to believe what you really want to build. If they do not believe in it, they won't be able to put up the exact efforts that you expect from them. But at the same time, what I say is having the same vision is good, but having different capabilities is also important. So let's say I am able to get in on the technology part, somebody else should be able to the marketing part, the marketing, and then others should be able to do the sales part. So it has to be a mix and match of the things. It shouldn't be like that I also know marketing, the other person also know marketing, the sales is going zero. That
Yeah.
doesn't help. So having the same vision is very important, believing in the same vision is very important, being thinking at the same place is good, but having multiple I would say that's how you find even the founders, co-founders, I would say.
So, ma'am, what kind of circles do you think we should hang around to search for people? Like, if I wish to start a venture, suppose I have this one person, suppose Aditya is there, but I need more people because the two of us alone can't handle everything. How did you find your co-workers or founders, ma'am?
See, with me, it was very different. I was working in a company, and I got 5 people from that company with me to start my company. So I
Okay.
already knew these people. I already had the connection. I already had the same vision. And these people were not the co-founders. They were working with me. And let me tell you that you don't have to have the co-founder. You do not have to have 100 people on board. But you have to have, like, you know, that these are the 5 things that my company needs to do. And so in that manner, then you have to have 5 people. That's it. You don't have to have 100 people to do things. I started with 5 people. I mean, it was very easy for me. You don't have to first understand that you have to test your idea that it is actually working or not. You really need to invest money or time as well at the same time. So first understand, test your idea, talk to people and sell it out. And if it works out, then go to hiring or connecting with more people. That's the better way.
Okay, ma'am. And another question I had was, you run a creative agency, right? And I, for a part, have worked as both design editor as well as video editor for Catalyst Diesel, as well as a lot of firms and YouTubers. So now, if I wish to start a creative agency, what all requirements would I need to meet? Like, would I have to get into all the design stuff and get people on board as well for a creative agency?
Of course, you have to have people. I mean, somebody has to design your things, right? You need to
Yeah.
have people. If somebody's coming with a project, you have to have some people who can do that. If you can do that, then you do not have you need to have more people on board until you have that much investment of money or the capital with you. Once you have that, then you can hire more people if you have the capability. Or you
Oh,
at the what other companies are also doing that. What they do is they contract with the people that acha, on the profit sharing ratio that you can do this work for me and I we can share on the profit basis. That 30% is yours, of 70% is mine, or something like that can also happen. There are multiple ways, but of course you have to have people.
okay. Thank you, ma'am. And ma'am, would you suggest something related to mental health to students that we can just incur as entrepreneurs or young entrepreneurs?
See, at the early stage or like at where you are being an entrepreneur, I would say it's more like testing a lot of things. So that for that, I mean, I think because my journey was very different. When I started a company, I was already working. I knew what I really want to do. And at your stage, you are still figuring out a lot of things, right? When you know that you have to leave, you don't leave. So never get too attached. That's very important lesson that a lot of people have to learn. That in the initial state, don't get too attached until you get some capital out of it, investment money out of it. Once you know that it is working, then of course you go in the journey, and then you actually got attached in a very natural manner. But before that, don't do that. I mean, just try it out. If it doesn't work, so switch to something else, and try to keep on finding multiple things. And when it comes to mental health, I mean, and at this scenario, when you're trying multiple things, get first don't get attached, and apart from that, when you talk to people, when people say no, don't get disheartened. And how it can happen is by not attaching yourself to the idea, learning that okay, this is a feedback for me. People will come with the feedback. That is where I'm not putting your ego first in that part. I mean, that we all have that somebody says something bad about what we are trying to build, is like अरे नहीं नहीं ऐसा थोड़ी होता है, ये थोड़ी है, ये तो सही है बिल्कुल. So don't be like that. Be very much open about what people are saying, and be not getting attached emotionally is very important. Because when you don't attach emotionally, you can think through your mind. Then your mind works. कि अच्छा ये सही बोल रहा है बंदा, or I cannot just put my time into this, or maybe I need to fix this part of this product or something like that. So it's always a learning. So this is a learning phase. So don't get attached.
So it's like more like product validation. So at the very initial stage, how we can validate our thoughts. That if there is a very initial thought of building
And
something, so how I can validate it.
of course,
That
and at the same time, you talk to people. You have to have people whom you can trust in within your family, or maybe within your friend circle, or maybe somebody you see as a mentor. You need to have people around you with whom you can openly talk about how you are feeling, what you really think, not just about this. Maybe your personal, professional. A lot of things are interconnected. Never, or one more thing that you should understand, that your personal and professional are not different. If this is not fine, this is also not going to be fine, because all comes from here. If you're not happy in your personal part of your life, then it is going to affect your professional part of your life. You won't be happy while working on this. So make sure that you take care of both. You balance it out. I learned it very later in my life that you need to balance both the things, because I used to think that if my work is going great, I'll be happy. It's not like that. You have to be happy in your personal life as well. And I'm not saying that you all the time you are smiling or doing everything. Feeling content about the things, feeling okay about the things, not having the hyperactive mode all the time.
while you were building this unknown agency, how you validated it at that time that I'm
I
sure that it will work.
I validated it while working with the branch in other company. While I was in job, I used to talk to the people, because I was working on their Asia Pacific. I was leading the Asia Pacific, so I got the connection with a lot of bigger brands, and I got to understand what they really want, if it is what works, what doesn't work, what they're really missing out on. So I had that timeline. I had those connections as well at the same time to be able to talk to those people. So that helped me a lot. So those years while working on a job, those were to test, validate my things, what I really want to do, what I really can start up with. And you have to have experience. The experience of working in a company and being where you are at right now, I would say, is very different. Company is very different. If you have a really great idea, amazing, start now. And if you really think that you need time, start on a job, have those connections, That also helps. You can give yourself time, because sometimes you work with a company, you understand a lot of things of the industry, and you get lot of better knowledge, because I got that from the company or the organization I work with.
So starting just after college and being working in a company or a corporate culture for few years will be more advantageous.
Of course, it always helps. Maybe 2 3 years works, but you have to. I mean, if you can work, then go for a job, and don't fight for the money all the time. Just make sure that you wherever you go, you learn a lot. You get to have the hands on a lot of other things. That because I work with a company where I was able to work on the design and software part, and at the same time leading part, and a lot of things were there, and I was able to try it out. I did not have a foundation, and I got very early stage. I got the lead of the company. I worked with really great brands in the initial stage of my career. So I think I got all of that because while working at that place, I understood what agents, the bigger brands, really want, how they really work, and how I can match up to that level. So that when I started, already knew what they really want. I did not have to like test and try on my own, and without any connection, it becomes very difficult to know that.
So like while searching for the job, which kind of industry we should look after? Like
The one you really want to pitch in. I mean, if you have some idea, if you really like something, let's say somebody is more interested in the technological part, then find a startup or a company where you will be able to have the machine learning or AI or something like that, or conversational AI nowadays is very up in the market. So go through that. You can do that, and always go for startup in initial phase of your career.
yeah.
Because from there you will be able to learn a lot of things better. They'll be relying on you for a lot of things, because on the in the bigger organization, what happens is they give you very specific and very niche
Specific
task.
role.
Yeah, so that doesn't help. In a startup only you can have a lot of multiple things to try it out. So work on that, and if you have a creative side, and if you want to start something in the creative line, then go join an agency, a bigger one. With an agency, try for a bigger one, not a startup, because at that part, creative part, you have to go for the bigger brands, and bigger brands only comes to the bigger agencies.
Okay, okay. So it would be better to consider a startup instead of a stabilized organization. Instead of
Uh,
a stabilized organization, it would be better to join a startup.
Yeah, for the technological and a lot of different parts. If you want to learn about leadership, then join a startup. Technological part, join a startup. But when it comes to the creative part, as I said, that go for the bigger companies.
Bigger.
Yeah, because they must be having bigger brands, and then they'll be able to help you to understand that part.
uh,
Yeah, Varun.
I wish to ask you, ma'am, that since we think and we tend to join into creative stuff more, and then we get bored out of it. It is our age, it is our mindset at this stage of our lives that we tend to get bored out of everything very fast. And it goes on very soon with us as teenagers, as teenagers, and everything. So, how do you think that teenagers can, like people like us, can help ourselves with that boredom? Because the saturation of creativity would lead us to nowhere. And in a ever-growing environment, we need to be more creative than before. Like every day, we need to search for new ideas. But at one point, we get bored, and one point it gets saturated, and we get frustrated, and we tend to lose all that zeal that we had while starting out learning something outright.
Then take a break. Don't leave that shit. I mean, taking a break is better, because I also get bored a lot. I mean, it's been more than 10 years for me. So I also get bored every then and now. Though I don't get the time now, I have to be busy with a lot of things. But you get bored. Everybody gets bored. But that means that you have to stop that at that point, not just leave that thing or leave it. Take a break. Take a break. Go out, do something, some other thing, and then come back. You start it again, then you get some other, because when you take a break, then the other ideas can come into your head, and a lot of other things happen at the same time. You talk to the people, because when you do something alone, then it becomes more boring. When you have two people or three people on board and discussing multiple things, then you have a competition, healthy competition on board as well. So you try it out again and again, multiple things happen.
So we need to take breaks. That's what you would suggest us.
Of course, take breaks and involve multiple people in those things if you can.
Ma'am, how do you see creativity?
I right now I don't get into the creative part much, because I'm more into sales. But when I used to do that part, I mean, I for me it's very different. For everyone is different. But For me, when I also used to do that. I mean, I used to take break when I'm trying out something. I'm trying to create a campaign, and what I do is I first imagine everything on my head. Ki, acha, this is how it's gonna go. These are the ways we can do and everything. Then I put it on the paper and then on the laptop, and then I explain to the team that what I want. And once it happened, and while going through that process, I used to get bored. I mean, acha, abhi nahi ho raha hai mujhse. This is something that I need to. Then I used to take a break, or I used to discuss it with somebody else. So somebody else comes up with something else, and then it all again makes me feel something. Okay, I have to do this or that, and getting bored is like it's the play of the chemicals that we have in our body. For whatever we do, a chemical gets released, and that's how it happens. So make a discipline out of it. Discipline is the way for continuing with everything that you have. You have to put yourself or force yourself to do things. No matter when you love something, you have to force yourself as well. It's not like that you love something, you're going to be keep on doing it. There are going to be days that you don't want to do it. So take a break, and you don't take a break every second hour.
Okay.
ये भी नहीं कि हर दूसरे घंटे में हम ब्रेक ले रहे हैं. इट हैज टू बी जब बिल्कुल क्रिएटिविटी चल ही नहीं रही है दिमाग में, चल ही नहीं रहा कुछ, देन टेक अ
Jab we get frustrated with ourselves.
हाँ, but discipline is very much important. You have to force yourself. There are a lot of like even to get out of a bed some days we have to do that. That नहीं अभी कॉल है, अभी ये है, अभी इससे बात है, ये काम है. We have to force ourselves a lot of times. Discipline is that.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you. I guess our juniors want to ask something.
If they do not have anything, don't force them to ask, please.
No, I'm not. They.
Ma'am,
Yes.
ma'am, I want to ask, ma'am, what is the biggest challenge you faced in terms of mental health, ma'am?
I think with me, I would say that when you are an entrepreneur, then you have to being able to balance your personal life with that is a very difficult part of your life because you don't get time. When you are an entrepreneur, you're 24/7 working, you are sleeping with your laptop, you are waking up with late. So balancing that part have been difficult for me, but slowly you learn on your own ways and you have to give time. As I told you earlier as well, that I realized it very late in my life that I have to look out that help as well. I did not used to give time to my parents. I never used to sit with them. I mean, I used to, but not that much that I have to be with them. And I used to be like, हमें लगता है कि we do not have to give time to anything but our dream or our passion or whatever we are doing. But that's not how it happens. You need that. You really need to balance it out, and that's how you will be able to feel sane at the same time. If you want to be mentally okay or being able to work on the things, you have to put yourself out with family, parents, spouse, whatever you have on board. So that was difficult for me. But when I realized that, I was just started giving out the time, and it happened very easily then.
Okay,
So, ma'am, the lesser amount of time that we can indulge with our family, what do you think? It is less in entrepreneurial stage, or it is less in the job wala stage?
In job wala stage mein you get time. I am telling you, I have been through that. Job wala stage mein you do get time. But on the entrepreneurship side, that doesn't happen. So it's very difficult to find out time because you are doing. And the initial phase, I would say, because when you are doing the sales and building a team and hiring people and doing the work sometimes as well, and making the comment, everything is on you. So you don't get time. You always feel that even in 24 hours, we have less time. It always feels like, and even after so many years, I still feel that. But I make sure that every day I do my dinner with my family or I have a cup of tea with my family. That has to be there. I force myself to put it out there. And it really makes a difference when you talk to them and you feel because you can't always talk about work. It should not happen. Though I also have done that and I also still do it. But you have to take out time for other things as well so that your mind can also relax from all those things. And then when you start again pushing yourself, then it becomes better. You are more creative. You feel more easy with the things, and you get more ideas in.
So now, like after 5 6 years now, most of the things are like settled in your business, I guess. So now you get proper time to give to your.
You never get time. You have to find out time. You have to actually put that time कि हाँ अच्छा ये वाला time ऐसे. You cannot. If you're gonna sit on the table and you start working, then you forget. I mean, with me it happens. You don't realize. I mean, there was a time when I used to have my food on the table and I used to forget my dinners. A lot of things used to happen. When you're working or you're building something, it happens. So you have to find your time on your own. You will never get time. You won't be like, अच्छा ये time मेरा free है. You will never be free. और initial stage पे तो बिल्कुल नहीं होता है.
Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah, Yashika, you are trying to ask something.
Yes, Aditya. Ma'am, I want to ask that nowadays, like entrepreneurship and startup culture is increasing in India, and everyone wants to be a entrepreneur or build a startup. So, how we can deal with this peer pressure?
Though you don't have, so it's all in our head. I'll be very honest that when everybody is doing a lot of things, we need to see it is our life. मैं बहुत clarity पे थी शुरू से कि because when I was getting into dance, when 10 years, 11 years down the line, dance was nothing. People used to be like, this is not even a good thing. You need to be clear in your head that what you want, because this is a life that you have to live. People are not going to come every day will be helping you. अच्छा तुमने डांस छोड़ दिया तो तुम ये करो, अरे हम हेल्प कर रहे हैं, कोई नहीं आएगा. You have to live this life. They can talk to you one day and the whole other month and 29 days it's you. So you have to make sure that you are happy with it. Peer pressure is going to be there when people are doing. You also talk about your thing. You can, but it's all in our head that we think that this is something small that we are doing. If you talk about your thing very proudly or you have to speak to yourself that this is something really good. This is something I really like. That's how our brain works. I'm literally telling you. You have to speak to yourself. You have to tell yourself, "Acha, this is something I want to do. This is something really great, and I really love it." And when you think about that thing, forcing yourself to think in that manner, you speak to the people that manner. Maybe you inspire a lot of people to do the job. It's not important or very. I mean, you don't have to force yourself to be an entrepreneur. You should go for a job if you think, because सब entrepreneur बन जाएंगे तो कंपनी में काम कौन करेगा. एंड अच्छा आइडिया होना जरूरी है, ना कि entrepreneur होना. अगर आपके पास अच्छा है, you are really able to make a difference, then it's good to be an entrepreneur. Otherwise, you will be sitting at home having no money because that's how it is. शुरू में तो बिल्कुल पैसा नहीं मिलता. So ये है कि ये समझो कि तुम्हारे लिए प्रायोरिटी क्या है. What is important for you? You want to do a job, you really love doing that, be doing that. Whatever everybody is saying, tell them that you also should try this. Like entrepreneurs tell you, na, "Arey, I'm doing this is very exciting," and then, so you also say that I'm doing this and this is exciting, or this is how it can be done. Talk about your things. Be confident about what you're choosing. And confidence is not something that is built in. You create it on your own by learning a lot about your stuff or talking a lot about your stuff. And knowledge is the power for anything. Entrepreneurship, job, anything. You have to have knowledge about what you're really putting your head into or your life into. So knowledge होने से ही वो power आता है, power से confidence आता है.
Like it's like the FOMO is real. Like that guy is building a unicorn company in his early 20s and all, but it's pretty opposite with us in our tier 3 circle. We don't have students excited about building companies. So what we can do, like what we can do differently to make them understand that they can also build a startup. Doing a job is not only the way.
तो किसी को फोर्स मत करो, किसी को मत बताओ कि क्या करना चाहिए. तुम अपना बताओ कि मुझे ये अच्छा लग रहा है, मैं ये कर रहा हूँ. एंड देखो, हर कोई कुछ ना कुछ तो करेगा ही ना. हर कोई कुछ ना कुछ करेगा. मैं जॉब कर रही हूँ, कोई और कुछ और कर रहा है, कोई स्टार्टअप कर रहा है, कोई डांस कर रहा है, कोई गवर्नमेंट जॉब कर रहा है. सो सबका अपना अपना चॉइस है. वो चॉइस है, उसको ये मत बनाओ कि मेजॉरिटी क्या कर रहा है. ये सोचो कि तुम्हें क्या करना है. कि चार भी नहीं, 2 साल बाद ही तुम लोग साथ भी नहीं होगे. पता है तुम्हें, बात भी नहीं होती है. मतलब इतना भी टाइम नहीं होता कि आप लोग डिस्कस कर लो. कॉल पे 2 कॉल मुश्किल से महीने में कर रहे हो. सो ये समझो कि तुम यहाँ से ऑलरेडी निकलने वाले. यू गोना बी समवेयर एल्स. इवन इफ यू गोना डू अ जॉब, यू गोना बी in any metropolitan city, Delhi, Bangalore, Noida, Hyderabad, somewhere there. सो ये सोचो कि अपना ना आगे का सोचा करो कि मेरा फ्यूचर का है, मुझे वहाँ देखना है, कि मुझे वहाँ पहुँचना है. ये सब तो अभी यहीं रह जाएगा. मैं सीरियसली बात करूँ that this is something I like. Why you feel small about starting a company or even doing a job?
Yeah, the question is like not about the personal level, as an organization level, as a ESL of the college. How we can promote it to their.
If you want to promote entrepreneurship, see, लोगों को क्या डर लगता है कि उनको लगता है कि हम टाइम देंगे और कुछ हासिल नहीं होगा.
Yeah.
If I'm gonna, everybody wants in the tier 3 cities, if I talk about, they think that कि हमें, वो सोचते कि हमें सबसे पहले पैसा चाहिए. We need money. चाहे छोटा हो, कम हो, एक stable income होनी चाहिए to grow and have a household and have money and eat something. So वो लोग सोचते हैं पैसा आना चाहिए. So agar because a lot of colleges, what they are doing is they are giving a pre-grant amount or money, something that happens from the college side, or getting sponsorship out of the city, somewhere from the metropolitan or somewhere around the line. Or government is doing a lot of things. You can involve people from that. Incubators can be started. People to start a company. That's how it happens. To give them support, not just saying कि start a company, but giving them the resources as well will help. बिकॉज दैट समथिंग दैट लोग सोचते कि ना करना भी चाहूँ, अगर लेट्स से मुझे प्रोडक्ट स्टार्ट करना है, सर्विस स्टार्ट करना है, तो मेरे पास रिसोर्सेज नहीं है, मेरे पास लोग नहीं है, मेरे पास टाइम नहीं है, मेरे पास पैसा नहीं है, तो ये सब सपोर्ट देने से और इजी होगा.
Okay. We got a question from YouTube comment section. Ma'am, if I belong to a lower middle class family, then after graduation, should I 9 to 5 job or should I go for any startup?
See, I would say with the job you work on an idea, because if you see, जब lower middle class families होते हैं, so there are responsibilities that we all have, so we have to take care as well. अगर लेकिन तुम ये भी कर सकते हो, अभी तुम लोग कॉलेज में हो, so when you are in college you have time to try things out right now. So अभी अपने आप को उस चीज़ में परफेक्ट आउट करो, कि पहले फाइंड आउट करो कि तुम एक्चुअली में कहाँ जाना चाहते हो, वो ये इसी टाइम पे कर लो, 1 साल 2 साल जितना भी टाइम तुम लोग के पास है अभी, ट्राई इट आउट दैट अभी, एंड ट्राई करके फिर जॉब ज्वाइन कर लो, देन यू विल हैव मनी. तो पता है क्या, अगर एक पैसा नहीं आता ना, तो आपका ये आइडिया और ये मोटिवेशन ना नहीं वर्क करता है, और मोटिवेशन हमेशा नहीं होता, डिसिप्लिन की जरूरत होती है. मैं बता रही 2 दिन से ज़्यादा मोटिवेशन भी नहीं मिलता है. तो यू हैव टू हैव मनी इन योर हैंड टू बी एबल टू थिंक अबाउट थिंग्स. तो जब पैसा आता है ना, तो ईजी हो जाती है चीज़ें लोअर मिडिल क्लास बंदे के लिए, क्योंकि उनकी फैमिली से प्रेशर और 10 चीज़ें और भी होती है, एंड दे ऑल्सो थिंक कि वी नीड मनी टू डू थिंग्स. सो जॉब करो, जॉब के साथ ये चीज़ें करो, एंड ज़रूरी नहीं है कि तुम्हें बहुत हाई फाई जॉब पकड़नी है. गो फॉर अ नॉर्मल जॉब जहाँ से सिर्फ पैसा आ जाए कि तुम्हारा काम चल रहा है, और फिर साथ साथ अपना ये बनाते रहो, एंड वन डे यू कैन लीव योर जॉब एंड वर्क ऑन थिंग्स. तब हो सकता है जब तुम्हें लगे, तुम श्योर हो कि अब चीज़ें स्टेबल हैं.
Like we can do like in start a good job in early 20s, we can give a 10-year time to our job and get financially independent, and
तो
then
सब बहुत है, 5 साल भी दोगे आज के टाइम में, अगर अच्छा स्मार्ट बंदा है तो 5 साल देके भी बहुत है. और आई वुड से अगर ऐसा तो टेक्नोलॉजी साइड में देखो, बिकॉज टेक्नोलॉजी बहुत अच्छे लेवल पे ग्रो कर रही है, एंड डोंट गो फॉर कोडिंग और समथिंग, बिकॉज वो वाला पार्ट तो कुछ साल में गायब ही हो जाना है. सो वो मत देखो. बहुत अलग अलग जॉब्स आ रही है, लेट्स से कि प्रॉम्प्ट की जॉब आ रही है. सो चैट जीपीटी में जो आप प्रॉम्प्ट डालते हो उसके लिए एक जॉब है, मतलब आई कैन नॉट बिलीव दिस, ये जॉब भी है, बट हाँ ऐसा भी एक जॉब है. तो मतलब बहुत टेक्नोलॉजी से अपने आप को कनेक्टेड रखो, बिकॉज फ्यूचर में हर जगह वही चीज़ होने वाली है. हमेशा हर चीज़ फोकस करो कि 5 साल बाद क्या चलेगा, ठीक. बहुत सारी जॉब 5 साल बाद होंगी भी नहीं, तो वो मेक श्योर करो कि वो चीज़ रहे, और उसी इंडस्ट्री में तुम फोकस करके आगे बढ़ो, चाहे एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप हो चाहे जॉब हो. Focus on that part of the life.
okay, like the job roles are changing. Yeah.
Of course.
So the skills we are currently relevant will not going to be relevant 2 to 3 years down the line, like that.
ऐसे बहुत सारे जॉब्स हैं, मतलब अगर अब मैं कोडिंग की बात करूँ, चैट जीपीटी हैज स्टार्टेड डूइंग दैट, और अभी बहुत बेसिक लेवल पे है, लेकिन धीरे धीरे करके वो ग्रो कर लेगा.
Yeah.
वो उसका जो मशीन लर्निंग इंजन है, इट्स वेरी अमेजिंग, बहुत अच्छा है बनाया. तो वो तो बहुत जल्दी ग्रो कर लेगा. तो वो पार्ट मत देखो कि मुझे कोडिंग करनी, गेट इनटू मोर ऑफ पार्ट की जहाँ पे तुम इन सब चीज तुम ये देखो कि चैट जीपीटी से लेके और क्या चीजें की जा सकती है.
So, like we can use chat gpt as a base, and then we can build something on it.
बिल्ड समथिंग, और इवन फॉर द जॉब एज आई टोल्ड, प्रॉम्प्टर का जॉब है कोई यार, मतलब इतना फालतू जॉब भी मतलब आ रहे हैं, तो फिर क्या ही बोल सकते हैं.
And
तो अभी और भी चीज़ें होंगी, अपॉर्चुनिटीज हैं, और तुम्हें खुद भी पता चल जाता है थोड़ा टाइम में कि तुम्हें क्या करना है. टेक्नोलॉजी में जाना है, क्रिएटिव साइड में जाना है, मैनेजमेंट में जाना है. गो ऑन दैट पार्ट एंड ट्राई इट आउट. छोटा छोटा जॉब करके शुरू करोगे ना, आप ऑलवेज गो फॉर अ स्टार्टअप. मतलब मैं तो बोलूँगी क्योंकि स्टार्टअप में बहुत अपॉर्चुनिटीज मिल जाती हैं चीज़ें सीखने की, और कई बार होता है कि हम घुसते किसी और रीजन से और बाद में हम कुछ और बन जाते हैं.
yeah,
इट हैपेंस. और तुम्हें समझ आता है काम करते करते, तुम चीज़ों को करते देखते हो, ट्राई करते हो कंपनीज में, कि कंपनी में जाके काम करते हो ना अलग अलग चीज़ें, तो तुम समझ पाते हो कि भाई मैं ये भी कर सकता हूँ, या ये मुझे ज़्यादा इंटरेस्टिंग लग रहा है, जिससे मैंने स्टार्ट किया था वो नहीं. मैंने कितने लोगों को देखा है जो कोडिंग से स्टार्ट करते हैं, फिर उसका डिजाइनिंग में घुस गए और वो वहाँ बहुत खुश है. सो इट्स ओके, बट जो तुमसे हो पाए वही करो.
even people are doing blogging and other things as a profession nowadays.
दैट इज ऑल्सो गोइंग डाउन. मैंने बता दिया कि जो ये इन्फ्लुएंसर वाला जॉब है, अब उसमें भी ब्रांड से हम लोग जब बात करते हैं ना, दे ऑलवेज से कि अरे कुछ नया लेके आओ, हमें अब इन्फ्लुएंसर वाला उतना भाता नहीं है। मे बी वो साथ में चल रहा है कि चलो हमने अगर जैसे लेट से 50 लाख रुपए हमने पूरे कैंपेन में खर्चा कर दिया, तो 15 लाख रुपए हमने इन्फ्लुएंसर में डाल दिया, लेकिन अब उतना ज्यादा वैल्यू नहीं जो हमारा 2-4 साल पहले था, क्योंकि तब
Okay,
मैं
so like when we see for a longer term perspective, it's not that feasible. Like making it a profession.
वाई न्यू प्रोडक्ट्स आर कमिंग, थ्रेड ऐसे करके ये सब चीजें क्यों आ रही है? क्योंकि अब इंस्टाग्राम पे उतनी कितना कितना ज्यादा सैचुरेट, मतलब
Yeah,
कितने
saturation.
बहुत लोग आ गए हैं, मतलब यार हर दूसरा बंदा इन्फ्लुएंसर बन रहा है, हर दूसरा बंदा कंटेंट बना रहा है, और क्या कंटेंट है, मतलब आई कांट इवन वॉच इट फॉर लाइक, क्या बोलूं मैं, मतलब
Because we will reach at a level where we have more content creators than people actually watching the content.
वॉचिंग कंटेंट, सो इसलिए मतलब बहुत ही सैचुरेटेड मार्केट है ये। और आजकल मतलब मैं बता रही, ब्रांड्स इन्वेस्ट करने में थोड़ा पीछे हटने लग गए हैं इन चीज़ों में, और थोड़े टाइम बाद वो हट ही जाएगा, बिकॉज नए वेज आ रहे हैं। एक्सपीरियंशियल मार्केटिंग पे फोकस करो, एक्सपीरियंस क्रिएट करना कैसे है वो ज़्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट है, क्योंकि हमारे कंज्यूमर स्मार्ट हो गए, उन लोगों को पता है कि भाई ये हमें बेच रहा है, ही सेलिंग मी समथिंग दैट
Yeah.
इन्फ्लुएंसर, तो मैं नहीं खरीदूँ, मैं कभी नहीं खरीदती। मतलब मैं जितने भी हम लोग रिसर्च ग्रुप्स बनाए हैं, सब में यही है कि nobody goes because an influencer said this, nobody goes for it, कि भाई एक इन्फ्लुएंसर ने बोल दिया कि ये क्रीम अच्छी है, जो कि हमें पता है वो लगाता है,
Yeah,
so nobody
it's
goes.
like they are selling us, like forcefully selling us just buy it.
Yes, exactly, so there is no point of investing that.
Yes, we are running out of time. I guess I would like to ask last question. What are the new trends in the marketing, if not influencer and all?
Experiential marketing is growing very fast, creating experience. लाइक एग्जांपल दूँ तो मैं कोको कोला ने किया था, जिसमें क्या था कि उन्होंने एक कोको कोला का एक वेंडिंग मशीन था, जिसमें अगर आप हग करोगे तो उसको कोको कोला निकलेगा। सो इट वाज अबाउट मेंटल हेल्थ, तो इतना अच्छा, मतलब इस तरह की चीज़ एक्सपीरियंस जनरेट हो रहा है, इसी तरह ब्रांड की अवेयरनेस एंड कंसिडरेशन पार्ट पे हेल्प कर रहा है वो। सो इस तरह के कैंपेन्स पे वर्कआउट हो रहा है, एवरीबडी इज लुकिंग आफ्टर दैट, नोबडी इज गोइंग फॉर लाइक नॉर्मल कोडिंग लगा दिया, वो चीज़ बची नहीं है। अब कैंपेन्स को बहुत डिफरेंट तरह से देखा जा रहा है कि लोगों को एक्सपीरियंस मिले, प्रोडक्ट एक्सपीरियंस इज द फ्यूचर ऑफ मार्केटिंग।
Okay, Anshika, hello. I think
Yes, sir.
it's time for the vote of thanks.
Thank you, ma'am, for becoming the part of this session and enlighten our way to our entrepreneurship activities. Ma'am, you had really made this session interactive and engaging by clearing out all the queries. Thank you so much, ma'am.
थैंक यू अंशिका एंड
Is
एवरीवन।
there anything you like to suggest us after this?
The only thing I can say is try multiple things, मतलब ऐसा नहीं है, कोशिश करते रहो, तुम फाइनली समझ ना जाओ कि मैं क्या चाहता हूँ या मैं क्या चाहती हूँ। कभी भी ये मत सोचना, मतलब 100 लोग 10 चीज़ें करेंगे। मैं बता रही, जब मैं कर रही थी डांस, सब लोग जॉब में देख रहे थे कि मुझे जॉब करनी है, जॉब स्टेबिलिटी है, ये सिस्को, इन्फोसिस, 10 चीज़, बट नेवर लिसन टू दोज पीपल, व्हाट दे आर डूइंग इज देयर लाइफ, दे आर चूजिंग दैट पाथ। तुम्हें पता है कि 10 साल बाद मैं अकेले ही कर रहा हूँ सब, या अकेले ही कर रही हूँ, तो मेक श्योर दैट यू रियली लाइक व्हाट यू आर डूइंग। डोंट मेक अ डिसीजन आउट ऑफ योर फ्रेंड्स, पीयर प्रेशर और एनीथिंग, बिकॉज वो कभी तुम्हें हेल्प नहीं करेगा, 4 साल बाद ही जाके तुम्हें चेंज ही
Yeah.
करना पड़ेगा। तो कभी, और मैं सही बता रही, ग्रो करने के लिए तुम्हें पसंद होना वो चीज़ बहुत ज़रूरी है। बहुत लोग मैंने देखे जो डांस में भी आए, अब आते हैं लेकिन वो कर नहीं पाते, दे आर नॉट
Yeah.
एबल टू डू थिंग्स। सो वो करो जो तुम्हें अच्छा लगता है, एंड अपने माँ बाप की बहुत सुनो, वो बहुत ज़रूरी है। वो ये नहीं कि वो कह रहे कि तू नहीं सुनना, and be very honest with them, tell them what your plans, how they think, what they think about, तो उनको क्रेडिबिलिटी का वो पार्ट पढ़ाना जरूरी है कि मैं क्यों सोच रहा हूँ ऐसे, मैं कैसे करना चाहता हूँ, एंड ट्राई टू स्पीक टू द लीडर्स ऑफ द इंडस्ट्री, वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, क्योंकि वही तुम्हें बता सकते हैं कि आगे क्या होगा। क्योंकि गूगल और इन सब चीज़ों पे हर कोई कंटेंट डाल सकता है, लेकिन
Yeah.
उन इंडस्ट्री लीडर्स को एक्चुअली में पता होता है। एंड सबसे ईजी प्लेटफॉर्म लिंक्डइन है, मैसेज करो, लोग रिप्लाई करते, 100 को करोगे तो 10 तो आएंगी। तो और बिल्कुल शर्म मत करो कि मुझे नहीं करना चाहिए, वो नहीं रिप्लाई करेंगे, नहीं करेंगे तो नहीं करेंगे, कौन सा तुम्हारी दोस्ती यारी चल रही कि बुरा लग जाएगा। करो, सबसे बात करो, जिससे रीच आउट कर सकते हो करो, रिप्लाई आए, टॉक टू देम, एंड इफ पॉसिबल उनके साथ थोड़ा सा कहो कि मैं अगर कोई इंटर्नशिप या कुछ कर सकूँगा, फ्री में भी काम करने को मिले, घर पे बैठ के 2 घंटे भी देने पड़े, दो, क्योंकि वहाँ तुम सीखोगे, और एक अच्छे बड़े बंदे के साथ करने का अपॉर्चुनिटी बहुत कम मिलता है। तो
Yeah.
ट्राई फॉर दैट एंड रीड बुक्स। आई वुड सजेस्ट कि बुक्स पढ़ना बहुत ज़रूरी है, बिकॉज जो बड़े अच्छे लोगों ने, लीडर्स ने लिखा है, वो तुम्हें सिर्फ बुक्स में मिलेगा, गूगल पे नहीं मिलेगा। उनकी बुक्स ही तुम्हें एक्चुअल एक्सपीरियंस बता सकती है जो उन्होंने किया है एक्सपीरियंस, तो वो तुम्हें सिर्फ वहीं से मिलेगा। तो रीड बुक्स एज मच एज यू कैन। अपनी चीज़ें देखो कि मुझे एंटरप्रेन्योर बनना है तो उससे रिलेटेड क्या बुक्स हैं, या मुझे क्रिएटिव में जाना है तो कौन सी बुक्स है, ये सब देखो। एंड लर्न एज मच एज यू कैन। नॉलेज नेवर, लाइक लिमिट ही नहीं है उसकी, और जितना ज़्यादा नॉलेज होगा ना उतना ज़रूरी है, क्योंकि जब तुम सेल भी करोगे ना कोई प्रोडक्ट या सर्विस,
Yeah.
तो लोगों को पता होना चाहिए। वो कोई क्वेश्चन पूछे तुम ये ना कहो कि आई गेट बैक टू यू एंड आई टॉक टू माई टीम, ये कभी एक सोल्यूशन नहीं है। वहाँ ही तुम्हारा ना, मतलब वहाँ ही तुम्हारी वैल्यू कम होगी, उनको समझ आएगी इससे नहीं होगा। तो तुम बाद में कुछ भी फाड़ सा बहुत ही बढ़िया सा तुम आंसर भी लेके आते हो टीम से पूछ के, तो उनके लिए कोई वैल्यू नहीं, तुम्हें नहीं पता, तुम लीड कर रहे हो कंपनी को। सो नो एज मच एज यू कैन, अपनी टीम में जितना भी करना है सब तुम्हें पता होना जरूरी है। चाहे तुम बिल्कुल हैंड्स ऑन मत करो, जरूरी नहीं है हर चीज़ का हैंड्स ऑन तुम्हें पता हो अपनी कंपनी में जो भी चल रहा है, बट नॉलेज होना बहुत जरूरी है कि आंसरेबल तुम होगे, तो वो जरूरी है। आई थिंक इतना काफी है।
Okay, ma'am. Really, thanks for joining and accepting our invitation.
And I'm happy to be here, and thanks for inviting me for this session.
Okay, ma'am. Have a good day, ma'am.
You too, all of you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
बंद कर दो। Yeah, YouTube live. We can close YouTube live, I guess.